do we become more connected to self? Like, what do you think that is?
Well, I think it's through our practices.
Mm.
So for me, I started with energy healing. I meditate, and one of the most important practices I use both in my life and in my practice and what I offer clients is breath work. So breath work has been life-changing for me. And and you can do tiny little like bits of breath work and feel a shift in your state of being, all the way to, in something like holotropic breath work, they have sessions that go 7-8 hours. But you don't need to do a 7 or 8 hour breath work in order to have monumental shifts in your state of being and your connection to yourself and your intuition. So for me, as I started practicing breath work, I became much more attuned to my own nervous system and the state of my body.
Mm.
And I feel like our bodies are just incredible sources of wisdom for us and connection to our intuition. Many of us think of connection to our intuition as happening through our third eye, or something that kind of happens up around the top of our heads. But really, our body is this incredible crystalline antenna to the world. And it is always giving us feedback. And so generally, culturally, we're taught to live from the neck up.
Mm.
Especially in Western culture, there's so much emphasis on the mind and intelligence. And what do you think about that? Tell me what you think, but not, people don't ask as often, what do you feel about that?
Mm.
So in coming into this relationship with my breath, I came into a much deeper relationship with my body and started being able to listen to the messages and wisdom of my body.
Mm.
When my body will always tell me when I'm going out of alignment for me, what my personal alignment is. And I feel that first by noticing where I might feel tension in my body, contraction or tightness. And then conversely, when my body is feeling good, expansive, warm, soft, you just start to, just by tuning through the breath into the body and feeling what's happening, I can start to understand what type of breath my body needs. So whether it's needing something more activating to give me a little bit more energy, to wake me up a little bit, or if I feel maybe my heart starting to flutter or my chest to contract, to say, can we pause for a minute? I need to take a breath.
Really take a breath. It's interesting because I myself have done some experience on breath work, and it was profound for sure. And not every, like, I not every session is the same. Sometimes it's crazy, profound release of emotions. Sometimes it's just so calming, really kind of depends. I think what you said before about, it doesn't have to be 6 or 7 or 8 hours. It can be something really small. You know, what can we do? We as a I want to say as a collective, because we're in a highly stressful world, and it's right now at the time of this recording, the world is just on edge. There's so much going on. Even
Mm.
for those who may not feel like they need anything healing or anything extra, just kind of interested in, some personal growth, what what would you suggest we could do and incorporate into our daily practice to make a difference in the state of our being?
Yeah, that's a great question. Something I love is, I always love things that are simple, first of all.
Oh,
we have we have enough complicated. So if you're listening to this at the very, even, whether you're listening to this and you've never done any breath work before and you not really, knowing maybe even what we fully mean by that, or you've been doing breath work for the last 30 years, this is something that is great for everybody. If you extend the exhale longer than the inhale, it's always going to be calming for your nervous system.
wow.
So what I like to do is just make it very easy. Inhale to a count of 4, exhale to a count of 8. And when you inhale, it's through the nose. And then exhale like you're blowing out through a straw.
Hmm.
So I'll demonstrate it once just so it's super clear. And then maybe after I demonstrate it once, we'll just do 3 together so that if you want to follow along, you can. And this is something you can do with your eyes open. You can do this while you're driving. You can do this. This is not some kind of, so deeply relaxing thing that it's going to take you out of your conscious awareness. It's just calming the system.
Hmm.
So it looks like this.
I might have to say
So
something to listeners.
what?
The listeners, those that are listening, those that see us, they can see it, but maybe, do you want me to count?
But when we do it together, I'm going to count out loud. I just wanted to do, for those who are watching, just to be able to see,
Hmm.
because sometimes someone describes something to me, like say something like blowing out through a straw. And depending on the person, I could go into questioning around that. I could be like, wait, what kind of straw? What is it, a big straw? Is it a little straw?
I
You
love
know,
I love it. It's like, okay, so is the straw long? Is it short? Is it metal or is it glass? Okay, I get it. Totally, totally.
so I personally am extremely visual. So I like to see things, but of course I know a lot of people are listening. So the next 3 breaths, I'm going to count while we breathe together. So in through the nose, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and out through the mouth, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, I'm calm now, which is great. And I will share with the listeners what was going through my mind. Exactly what you said. What kind of straw? Oops, I'm not, my mouth is not. And I'm like, oh,
Right.
I'm having a straw. I'm breathing in a straw, but it did make a difference. And what I did find myself doing was like, okay, well, let me take enough breath in so that when I have breathe out on 8, I have enough air to last for
So
8.
that's perfect because that inhale is more intense. To get the full inhale in the half time, you are putting more passion on the inhale. And then you're slowing the exhale because if you want it to last for 8 counts, you got to take it a little bit easier, right? You can't push it all out. And then you're like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm
breathe.